Daily Broadside, day 352. I woke up at 4:27 a.m. this morning. No alarm. Body knows what it needs to do. So I'm up and I started researching something, and before I knew it, serendipity took hold, and I discovered a 2011 documentary it was like a BBC documentary. I think his name is Luis Thoreau, probably pronouncing that wrong, but some Brit. And really well done. I'd watched a few other things that he did after that. He's a good documentarian. But he's sitting there talking to all these people that keep exotic pets, and of course Joe Exotic is one of the ones. And he was a lot less flamboyant, although he's still dressed like a cross between like an EMT, a cop, and a zookeeper, you know. He still had the gun and all that stuff. And it was weird seeing him back then, and now his estate and all that stuff, the zoo and everything, has been bought out by Carol Baskins, I don't remember which, and it's just run down, and urban spelunkers are taken to YouTube to tour it. So then I started watching those videos, and you get a tour of his house, and everything's just, the ceiling's gone, the insulation, mold, mildew, just everything's just been destroyed. And then you look around and you don't realize how big that zoo is, or any zoo for that matter, but especially like an independent one like that he bought for like 200 grand and built, because I just can't imagine all the welding that had to be done. And a lot of that stuff's aluminum. MIG, TIG, everything that had to go into building those enclosures and all, because there's just endless amount. I think he had like 187, 176 tigers at one point towards the end there. That's a lot of room to keep, those things. And I don't understand how they, I know they were getting like horses and stuff like that, but if you had to purchase the food legitimately, I don't think anybody could afford to feed those kind of animals. And do you remember, like, of course it's been like 3 years, best thing to come out of COVID was the Tiger King documentary, because, next to the Michael Jackson documentary that he did a few years before he died, that you just couldn't turn away from, and you kept going like, why does this dude allow the camera to capture all this stuff and all that? Except for that one, I would say the Tiger King is the most, let's say exotic one out there, because every episode, and it was only like 6 or 7 hours, you couldn't put it down. It was just like, what the hell's gonna happen next? It was awesome. And the memes were, the memes in the spring of 2020, I guess. Oh, they were so gold. They were just gold. Everyone my favorite was the ones where it was just somebody post something and the meme would have him standing there like, I will never fully financially recover from this. They were just great meme work there, American people. But yeah, so now Carol owns the place. It can't ever be called anything associated with Joe, and he's dying of some kind of colon, pancreatic, some kind of cancer. He's only like an hour from here. He's in like a federal medical facility in North Carolina. And to his words, he's never actually seen the documentary. Arguably one of the most amazing documentaries ever made, at least for thrill's sake. And he's never even seen it, and he's the subject of it. I find that weird. I think I'd have to at least watch it. Although I don't think I could bring myself to watch the urban spelunking at all the destruction and everything that was my home. Lost both his husbands. His world has kind of changed a lot in the last 5 to 10 years. But the early documentary, the 2011, was pretty cool. I'm amazed by people that keep exotic pets. I used to watch that show, the Fatal Attractions, I think it's called, and these people that keep, Bushmasters and all this stuff. In fact, the guy that was on the Bushmaster episode, he had a serpentarium, I think I'm saying that right, in Wilmington, North Carolina, that I got to go to, and they did live feeds. And I'm talking live feeds. They would open the glass. I got to see a king cobra, a gaboon, pythons eating like full-size hares, a couple Bushmasters, and an alligator eat an entire chicken or turkey in like one gulp. It's amazing to watch, but when you see it in person and you're 5 feet away and you're separated by nothing but a screen door that they put up around the thing, it's crazy. But then the guy that runs the place, he lived above the serpentarium, and he got in a domestic with his girlfriend, live-in, common law wife, whatever she was, and she shot him, and he's been dead. And then they shut the place down and sold everything off. But then, the first episode of Fatal Attractions, if I recall, was Travis the monkey, that chimpanzee. And I'm gonna tell you what, they go into length about the chimpanzees, but chimpanzees are evil creatures. They will lull you in with a banana to get you close, and then they will rip your face off, as they did with the lady in question up in like Connecticut, I think it was. Fascinating. That's why they're called wild animals. Just view them from a distance, and let's not keep them in our den. Giddy up.